From the tender age of childhood, countless girls are immersed in a pervasive, romanticized narrative of love. Fairy tales paint vivid pictures of Prince Charmings and happily ever afters. Movies and television shows endlessly parade grand gestures, soulmate connections, and the transformative power of a perfect romance. Society, through its ingrained customs and expectations, often reinforces the idea that finding love, getting married, and settling down is the ultimate fulfillment for a woman. We grow up believing in an almost sacred, destined form of affection, a beautiful, unwavering bond that conquers all. However, as many women navigate the complexities of adulthood, a jarring disconnect often emerges between this idealized vision and the harsh realities of their experiences. For a significant number, the vibrant colors of childhood dreams about love begin to fade, replaced by shades of doubt, disillusionment, and even cynicism. What once felt like an inherent truth, a natural part of human existence, slowly transforms into something they question, scrutinize, or even actively reject. This stark contrast begs a crucial question. Why? Why has this once sacred concept, so deeply ingrained in our collective psyche, become a source of profound skepticism, even outright rejection for so many women? What are the underlying reasons that chip away at this fundamental belief, leaving behind a landscape of emotional guardedness and a reluctance to fully embrace the possibility of romantic connection? To understand this shift, we must delve into the multifaceted experiences, societal pressures, and evolving individual perspectives that reshape a woman's relationship with love. The deep-seated reasons why women lose faith in love. The journey from childhood dreams to adult disillusionment is paved with various intricate factors, both personal and societal, that systematically erode a woman's belief in romantic love. 2.1. The chasm between idealized love and harsh reality. In their youth, women often harbor an almost unwavering expectation for love to be all-encompassing, unconditionally fulfilling, and imbued with the magic of Prince Charming narratives. They anticipate grand gestures, unwavering devotion, and a seamless connection where conflicts are minor hurdles easily overcome by the power of affection. This idealized vision, fostered by countless cultural touchstones, sets an incredibly high, often impossible, standard for real-world relationships. The painful awakening occurs when this pristine vision collides with the messy, imperfect reality of human connection. They encounter conflict, betrayal, selfishness, and a disheartening lack of responsibility from partners. The fairy tale amidst the mundane arguments over chores, the emotional labor disproportionately borne by one partner, the uncomfortable silences, or the glaring incompatibilities that no amount of love seems to fix. For instance, a woman might love with her whole heart, pouring all her energy and vulnerability into a relationship, only to receive profound hurt in return, be it through infidelity, emotional neglect, or outright abandonment. She might approach a connection with genuine sincerity and deep affection, only to find her efforts dismissed, her feelings taken for granted, or her worth undervalued. This repeated experience of giving her best and receiving less than she deserves, or worse, receiving pain, fundamentally challenges the notion that love is inherently reciprocal, kind, and rewarding. The dissonance between what love should be and what it consistently proves to be in practice becomes a primary catalyst for skepticism. 2.2. The lingering scars of past painful experiences. Few things erode faith as effectively as direct, personal experience of profound pain. For many women, a significant reason for their burgeoning disbelief in love stems directly from past romantic relationships that ended in heartbreak, leaving behind deep, unhealed emotional wounds. These aren't just minor scratches. They can be gaping fissures in one's sense of security and trust. A single act of betrayal, whether it's infidelity, a breach of fundamental trust, or a partner's abrupt abandonment, can be potent enough to shatter a meticulously built foundation of belief. The emotional devastation that follows such an event is often underestimated. It's not just the loss of a person, but the loss of a shared future, a dismantled identity, and a profound questioning of one's own judgment and worth. What further compounds this loss of faith is the unfortunate repetition of toxic or unhealthy relationship patterns. A woman might find herself constantly drawn to partners who are emotionally unavailable, manipulative, or even abusive. Each subsequent relationship that replicates these painful dynamics reinforces a devastating conclusion: that beautiful love, the kind portrayed in stories, simply does not exist for her, or perhaps does not exist at all in the real world. The accumulation of these traumatic experiences creates a deeply ingrained protective mechanism, where closing off to love becomes a perceived act of self-preservation, guarding against further inevitable hurt. The sheer emotional exhaustion from trying and failing, loving and losing, becomes too great to bear the thought of trying again. 2.3. Modern society, when love becomes more displayed than genuine. The advent of the digital age and the pervasive influence of social media have introduced a new, insidious layer of complexity to romantic relationships, often transforming love into a performance rather than a private, intimate connection. Love in the era of social media frequently appears to be more about outward display than genuine, heartfelt connection. Couples curate their lives, showcasing only the most perfect moments, the extravagant dates, the romantic getaways, the declarations of adoration, creating a glossy veneer that often hides the struggles beneath. For women, this can lead to a profound sense of insecurity and doubt, the unnerving feeling of not knowing if a partner truly loves them, or if they are merely in love with the image of them that is being projected online. Is the affection real, or is it merely for public consumption, a performance designed to garner likes and validation? This constant pressure to present a perfect relationship erodes authenticity and makes it difficult to discern genuine affection from performative displays. Moreover, in this digital landscape, love can easily be transformed into a competitive sport, a continuous cycle of one-upmanship, comparison, and bragging. Couples might subtly or overtly compete with others on social media, showcasing who has the best partner, the most romantic life, or the most public display of affection. This external validation seeking diverts energy away from genuine connection and transforms a deeply personal bond into a public spectacle. When love becomes a tool for social currency, its intrinsic value diminishes, leaving many women feeling that the true essence of love has been lost, replaced by a shallow pursuit of external approval. 2.4. The exhaustion of societal and familial pressure. Beyond the internal struggles and the digital pressures, women often face an immense, unyielding wave of external pressure to conform to traditional relationship milestones, which can ironically extinguish any genuine desire for love. From family members to friends and even broader societal narratives, the message is relentless. Find love, get married, don't end up alone. Why aren't you settled yet? For many, love gradually ceases to be a joyous pursuit and instead becomes a heavy burden, a task to be checked off a list, rather than a natural unfolding of connection. The sheer weight of these expectations can transform what should be a spontaneous, heartwarming experience into a source of anxiety and dread. They may feel compelled to date, to pursue relationships, or even to settle down, not out of genuine desire, but solely to appease external voices. When love is pursued primarily to satisfy others, to avoid the stigma of being single or left behind, the authentic connection to its true meaning slowly dissipates. The joy of discovery, the thrill of vulnerability, and the peace of genuine companionship are replaced by obligation and exhaustion. Consequently, the intrinsic belief in love's value, its ability to bring happiness and fulfillment erodes, as it becomes entangled with external validation rather than internal desire. The very concept that once promised joy now brings only pressure, inevitably leading to a profound loss of faith in its inherent goodness. 2.5. Self-sufficiency and freedom, no longer needing love to feel complete. A profound shift in women's roles and capabilities in modern society has significantly altered their relationship with love. For generations, societal norms often compelled women to seek partners for economic security, social status, and even a sense of identity. Marriage was often a necessity for survival, not just a romantic choice. However, contemporary women are increasingly empowered to forge their own paths. Today, women are more capable than ever of providing for themselves, financially, professionally, and emotionally. They are building successful careers, achieving financial independence, and cultivating rich personal lives filled with friends, hobbies, and self-discovery. This newfound self-sufficiency and autonomy mean they no longer need a partner to fill perceived voids or to complete their lives. The traditional reliance on a male provider or protector has largely diminished for many. This empowerment leads to a critical internal question. Am I truly pursuing love because I genuinely desire it, or am I merely succumbing to the fear of loneliness? When women can confidently answer this question with an emphasis on their own wholeness, the pressure to find a partner simply for the sake of companionship or societal acceptance dissolves. They become discerning, unwilling to settle for anything less than a truly meaningful, respectful, and enriching connection. If such a connection doesn't materialize, they are perfectly content living a fulfilling life on their own terms. This strength, while liberating, also contributes to a loss of faith and love when the relationships they encounter fall short of their elevated standards for genuine partnership. 2.6. The deep-seated fear of hurt and loss. Perhaps the most visceral and emotionally protective reason for a woman's diminished faith and love is the profound fear of being hurt again, of experiencing loss. Each romantic relationship that ends, particularly those fraught with pain, contributes to a gradual, incremental erosion of trust and hope. Every heartbreak depletes the emotional reservoir, making the prospect of opening up again feel increasingly daunting. It's akin to an emotional defense mechanism. Some women consciously choose to self-preserve by not engaging in deep romantic relationships, believing that by not loving, they will not experience pain. This decision, while seemingly logical in its protective intent, often stems from a place of deep, unhealed wounds. The memory of past betrayals, disappointments, and the sheer emotional agony of a breakup becomes a powerful deterrent. The idea of investing emotional energy, vulnerability, and time into someone, only for it to potentially end in tears, disappointment, or abandonment, becomes too overwhelming. They prefer the known, predictable safety of solitude, even if it comes with a quiet longing, over the unpredictable, potentially devastating pain of another failed romance. This fear, while understandable, can create an emotional fortress, trapping them in a cycle of guardedness that ultimately prevents the very connection they might secretly crave. Consequences of losing faith in love. The profound shift in a woman's belief system regarding love inevitably leads to significant behavioral and emotional consequences, shaping her interactions and life choices. Firstly, many women who have lost faith in love tend to live a more guarded and self-protective life in matters of the heart. They might become more cautious, wary of vulnerability, and hesitant to fully commit. This can manifest as an unwillingness to define relationships, a preference for casual dating over serious commitment, or an avoidance of emotionally intimate conversations. They keep a part of themselves shielded, always ready for the potential disappointment or departure of a partner. Secondly, they often erect emotional walls, making it incredibly difficult to open up and form deep connections. These walls, built brick by brick from past hurts, serve as a protective barrier. While intended to prevent future pain, they also inadvertently block out genuine affection and authentic bonding. Partners might perceive them as cold, distant, or uninterested, further reinforcing the woman's belief that love is inherently difficult or unachievable. In some cases, women may channel their energy and passion into other areas of their lives to fill the emotional void. This can mean immersing themselves completely in their careers, pursuing new hobbies, dedicating themselves to friendships, or focusing on personal growth. While these pursuits are inherently positive, when used as a sole coping mechanism to avoid confronting emotional needs, they can prevent a woman from truly addressing her deeper feelings about love and connection. Finally, and perhaps most complex, some women find themselves in a state of deep internal contradiction. While they outwardly express skepticism or disinterest in love, a part of them may still secretly yearn for it. This creates an ongoing internal battle, a push and pull between the desire for connection and the ingrained fear of vulnerability. They might long for a partner but sabotage potential relationships, or feel a profound sense of loneliness despite their outward independence. This internal conflict can lead to persistent feelings of unease, making it challenging to find true contentment in their romantic lives. Can women find their faith in love again? The question of whether women can reclaim their faith in love after profound disillusionment is complex, but the answer leans towards a hopeful yes. While past traumas and societal pressures can severely shake belief, it's crucial to understand that faith in love isn't entirely lost. It merely goes dormant, buried beneath layers of hurt and protection. It's like a seed that has fallen on rocky ground. It needs the right conditions to sprout again. The truth is, beautiful, genuine love still exists. It might not resemble the flawless fairy tale from childhood, but it exists in its authentic, imperfect, and deeply human form. However, rediscovering this truth requires time for healing, allowing past wounds to mend and emotional scars to fade. This often involves introspection, self-compassion, and sometimes professional support to process old traumas. Furthermore, it demands a significant degree of courage. The courage to be vulnerable again, to open oneself up to the possibility of hurt, knowing that risk is inherent in any deep connection. It's the courage to trust, not blindly, but with discernment, giving new experiences a chance without being entirely bound by the past. Crucially, women who regain their faith often arrive at a more mature understanding that love is not meant to fill an empty void within them, but rather to be a companionship entered into when both individuals are already whole and complete within themselves. It's about two strong, independent beings choosing to walk alongside each other, sharing their lives, supporting each other's growth, and enhancing an already rich existence. This paradigm shift from seeking completion to seeking partnership is fundamental to rebuilding a healthy and sustainable belief in love. It's about finding love as an addition, not a necessity for self-worth. Conclusion: a new perspective. The journey of a woman losing faith in love is a deeply personal and often painful one, born from a confluence of idealized expectations, harsh realities, and societal pressures. It's essential to recognize that not believing in love is not a failing. Sometimes it is simply a woman's intuitive and necessary way of protecting herself from further pain. It's a testament to her resilience and her learned wisdom that she chooses to guard her heart. However, while self-preservation is vital, it's equally important not to keep the door to the heart permanently closed. Because, who knows, one day, a love beautiful enough, respectful enough, and genuine enough might find its way in. A love that isn't about grand gestures or perfect displays, but about quiet understanding, unwavering support, and authentic connection. A love that truly values her for who she is, scars and all. Ultimately, the most profound and enduring love story any woman can cultivate is the one she writes with herself. Loving oneself first is not a cliche. It is the fundamental cornerstone for any healthy relationship, romantic or otherwise. When a woman genuinely loves and values herself, she sets a clear standard for how she expects to be treated. She understands her worth, respects her boundaries, and seeks a partner who amplifies her joy rather than diminishing it. For it is from this place of inner wholeness that the most resilient, meaningful, and genuinely fulfilling connections can truly begin to blossom. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.